It shouldn't take more than 700 people dying at sea in the course of a single weekend, contributing to the Mediterranean being the most dangerous border crossing in the world, for the European Union finally to reassess its treatment of the migrant people coming by boat. Last year, when Italy was in charge through its Mare Nostrum operation, it was actively rescuing people at sea and saved many, many lives. But this year, the European Union's Frontex took over in something known as Operation Triton. It put a priority on protecting borders rather than protecting people, and the deaths at sea have skyrocketed. Now, the European Union says that it's reassessing, it's going to deploy more boats, but that's not enough. It has to give those boats the mandate to actively seek out and rescue people who are floundering at sea. Now, some European leaders say, oh, we can't afford to do that. It's going to only encourage more people to arrive by boat. But that doesn't reflect the reality facing a large majority of these migrants. Some 50% of these people are fleeing Syria, Eritrea, Afghanistan, and Somalia, all countries with severe violence, severe repression. These people are going to come regardless of the risks they face in crossing the Mediterranean. Indeed, the number arriving has doubled over a comparable period last year. It's time to recognize that these people are going to come regardless and not make them take the additional risk of their lives in crossing the Mediterranean. There's a need to set up safe and orderly methods for people to seek asylum or refugee protection. Now, some political leaders are trying to minimize this problem by saying, oh, these are just traffickers, this is just criminality. But that doesn't reflect the reality here. These are not boat owners who are fooling people or coercing people to get on their boats. These are desperate people who are willing to risk their lives to cross the Mediterranean. Let's not try to reduce this problem to the false pretext of criminality. Now finally, some European leaders say, oh, Europe can't afford to take in all these people. But that doesn't reflect the reality either. Europe was asked to take 130,000 Syrian refugees and didn't even respond sufficiently to that request, even though that represented a mere 3/100ths of 1% of Europe's enormous 500 million population, one of the richest places in the world. Compare that to the response of the countries around Syria, each of whom has taken more than 1 million Syrian refugees. Lebanon today is 25% refugees. So Europe can respond more generously. It will not impose undue burdens on the continent. There's no reason for the Mediterranean to be the most dangerous border crossing in the world.